Welcome back to ICE 26. We're here on the Gaming Malta stand, and I'm pleased to be joined by Tom McGovern. He's the COO of Flutter UKI Malta. Well, Tom, how is ICE treating you so far?
It's great to be here, Oliver. We've had a fantastic time in Barcelona, and it's a really exciting event as always.
Let's start off with those relocation of some of the commercial and marketing roles to Malta. From an execution standpoint, what was it about Malta and the efficiencies that made that decision happen?
Well, we've been in Malta since 2001. Betfair was the original brand located there, and we now have nearly 1,000 employees in Malta. iGaming is a fantastic part of the Maltese economy, and it's a real success story in terms of growth. So it was a natural strategic decision for us.
And what about the group wider? You've streamlined some of your European operations, haven't you? How's Malta contributing to day-to-day performance?
Well, we think about the Flutter edge. That's the advantage that we have in the market, whereby we have capabilities, experience and knowledge in our product in all areas of the gaming business. And so we rotate team members through Malta as a site, and therefore it aids their career, having that global mobility and the Flutter edge for our people, but it also aids our businesses and the growth and the ability to scale.
And how do you see the global iGaming industry and emerging jurisdictions converge in the next 5 years, and how's Malta going to play a role in that picture?
The growth of the industry continues, but the growth of the unregulated industry is a real challenge for us. So I think when we look at that, the AI and tech-enabled, turbo growth of some of those unregulated markets, that's where we really need support from our regulators to ensure that that is curtailed and that customers are, directed to the regulated market, because often at this time, customers can struggle to differentiate between what is a regulated and an unregulated site. It is very concerning, particularly from a customer's perspective, because there's no protection, there's no safety for those customers. Flutter has invested huge sums of money but in our teams and in the models that we have that identify potentially risky behavior, and then we intervene and we protect those customers. There's none of that in the black market, so we really need support from our regulators globally to assist us in curtailing that black market.
We've seen Malta as the epicenter really of iGaming, and of course the Make It in Malta campaigns kind of showcased just how they're thinking long term and building that platform for companies to thrive. Just give us a sense of how that impacts you and your business.
Well, it impacts me personally because I moved to Malta 3.5 years ago. So relocated the family, my wife and 2 children to Malta. I think Make It in Malta, it's such a fantastic initiative by the government to really showcase what Malta has, both in its economy, the way that they are attracting highly paid technical jobs, innovation. Last year we had some other big sort of esport operators have relocated sort of outside of the iGaming industry. So that sort of vision and the long-term certainty is critical to our business as well. It enables us to have confidence in Malta as a strategic anchor point for the Flutter Group.
Absolutely, and that long-term thinking is going all the way ahead to 2050 with Envision 2050, and that it's a national directive to keep iGaming right at the core of Malta's economy, isn't it?
Absolutely, and that underpins our growth plans for Malta, because we have absolute certainty that Malta is going to be a very business growth focused country, that the support that we receive to grow our business, our staff and the talent pool continues to grow, and you have the gaming industry in Malta is so strong. You've got all your suppliers on the same island, you've got talent. We also recruit from greenfield and bring people through our industry as well, and train them to be leaders of the future. So I think we think very much in those terms. What is Flutter going to look like in 2050? How can we harness the innovation, the artificial intelligence leaps that are going to come? And it's great to be walking in lockstep with the government, having that kind of vision for us to have certainty that our investment is going to be able to return.
Are you feeling optimistic about the year ahead, given there are some kind of economic headwinds?
I think there are always headwinds that we overcome. We are the global leader of the industry, and because of that scale, we're very confident that we'll be able to overcome those challenges that are put in front of us. So while it is challenging, there's no question about that. We will evolve and we will get stronger, and we'll continue to grow.
Tom McGovern, many thanks for your time.
Thanks.